السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. رب لا تذرني فردا وأنت خير الوارثين. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. We have been studying the section A'raf, the seventh section of the Qur'an, and this is the 17th verse. We studied up to the 17th, and because we keep referring to beg and we are going so slow, without referring to the beg, what we have been studying. So we will just jump into the subject of this verse 17, which says, I will approach them from their front, their back, their right, their left, and then you will find most of them ungrateful. Of course, there is a question here. What does it mean that Satan will approach human beings from their front, back, right, left? It is all opportunities. We understand all possible ways that he will try. And what does it mean for me now? Then it is a big question, of course, because what does front represent, back represent, right, left represent? Without going into the details, which is not possible to make sure what it means by saying front, back, etc. But we understand that in our situation, for example, in our expectations, I'm giving a kind of understanding, my own speculations. From front, I understand my expectations, which is in front of me, all my expectations and imaginations for my future. Then Satan comes, say, and should offer me something non-realistic. It means not really, in its nature, it is non-existent. So if I say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get satisfaction from it, that is satanic. That's obvious, because I cannot guarantee to create anything now and in the future. Never. So it is satanic. But if I say I will pray God and he will give me this, that's my expectations from God's grace, his mercy. That is not satanic, because God is the one who can create, the owner of the universe. The rest of the claims that, if I treat in this way, my boss may be happy with me, so that I will get a promotion soon, etc. These are my satanic side, the expectations of my satanic side. From behind, for example, what I have done before, and I said, if only I did this, if only I did this. But that is satanic as well. It is past. Whatever is created, it is the reality. Whatever I can imagine that had happened before is not realistic, if it is not the created reality. So it gives us a kind of warning that we have to really make sure where we stand on the right basis. Is it really right to say that if I had done this, it would be? Can you guarantee it? No. It is already past first. The second, of course, you cannot change the past. The second, your own imagination cannot guarantee anything because you don't know if you had done something, what would have happened. But of course, it brings a question alongside with it. What is the question? Are we going to take any lesson from it? Yes. I did something and it was a failure. It was wrong. It didn't bring any benefit. So next time, take your experience, learn from right or wrong actions, and get ready for the future accordingly, but connect the creation of what you are expecting in the future to the creator of this event. But your choice is there. I will choose this, but let me see what God will give me, because whatever I choose is not guaranteed that it is going to be created. For example, I say, I'm going to visit my friend, or I'm going to work, get on the train, and there is an accident. I cannot go there. So there are certain rules in the order of the universe. I follow the order, but my following the order cannot guarantee that my expectations will occur, because we know that the order is there, how the things are created, but there are many unknown, unperceivable things may happen. I mean, the most obvious is the accidents. We don't know. Otherwise, we would avoid it. And also, they say, I'm sorry to mention this title, they say in the creation, in the existence, in the operation of the order of the universe, because some people don't accept that it is a creation, but it is the order of the universe. There is a very extremely fine tuning, which is called butterfly effect. A small change, very minute change that we cannot measure, can be a reason of the creation of a, for example, I don't know, hurricane. That is what the scientists find out, how the order of the universe works. But can we find it out? No, we can't. We may not be able to do so. What does it mean? Even the materialistically minded people admit that we cannot guarantee anything for the future. So we have to tie our previous experience in the past and be realistic. What was created yesterday, take the lesson from it and make a project for the future, but never say it is guaranteed that it will happen in this way. If I choose this way, definitely it will happen in this way. Never. That is what we have to make sure in our understanding. From right, from left, my speculations again. When I did something wrong, let's say this is from the inspirations or whisperings of the Satan from left, where I did something wrong, and it comes there, you know, you did it, but you are right, but you had a good intention, etc., from left. So asks me, or it suggests me to look for an excuse to explain away what I have done what I haven't done in the right way and not admit that it was my mistake and repent. No, you had a good intention, etc., etc. That is what human beings are always tending or looking for an excuse for justification of their mistakes. That's why we have to be very careful of, even from our wrong actions. The Satan comes and suggests some sort of justifications for it and says, no, 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 no. It wasn't your mistake. It was the chance. It was happened in this way. And even the Satan can say, God decided in this way against your will. It wasn't your mistake. It was God's mistake. Because he also claimed for his own creation, saying that you deceived me. Although he made the wrong comparison. So it means human beings, they are prone to look for justifications for their mistakes. That is the weak point that the Satan whispers and utilizes this. We have to be very careful. We have to be really a right person. If I did something wrong, I should not look for an excuse, rather return or turn back and ask for forgiveness from my Creator. It was my mistake. I admit, please forgive me. I promise you, I'm not going to do it again. Be straight. Be man. So accept it. Don't twist the cases and make it somehow in a way that it wasn't your mistake. We understood this whispering from the left. This is my understanding, my interpretation. You come up with a much better understanding. I will appreciate your ideas, and I will be happy to listen to it. But Satan looks all the excuses from here and there. We have to watch out, etc. Yes, but practically what it means for me. How about from right? Does Satan comes and whispers from right? Oh, very much so. It's very clever, So angels are innocent. Angels are loyal to the will of the Creator. And what they are doing is right. But at the same time, Satan is very clever as well. We call it smart. I call it Satan is a very smart guy, because in the human form, although it is not directly related to our subject, but it is better to know, especially if someone reads and hears the sayings of the Prophet narrated in the form of hadith. Hadith is a hadith. So the hadith says, hadith narration says, Dajjal, the most dangerous man on earth, representing pure iblistic attitude, self-centered, self-confident man. I am going to do it. I'm going to impose my power on other people. This man is, according to the descriptions of the hadith, is going to be a very smart guy, extremely smart. Oh, it means we have to watch out. We shouldn't be misled by the quality of a person who is very smart, but he may be deceiving, very deceptive person. He may be a very deceptive person. We have to be very careful. So being smart, being clever, doesn't mean that he is the man of truth or the person is the man of truth. No, never guarantees that. So being smart is a gift from God, but like every other gift of Allah, a gift of God, it is an opportunity for me to utilize it or to lose the opportunity and mislead myself. So anything given to us must be utilized in the right way, not in the satanic way. It means connecting it to God. We have to utilize it in connection with its creator. If we are not given, or let's say, some people like me is not really very smart, so they may say, oh, really, I study and I forget and I cannot really make sense of it immediately. Some people just understand it from the beginning of the sentence, what the sentence is all about, but I can't. That's my reality. So I have to read the sentence carefully, understand every single word in it, etc., and then try to make sense of it. So that is my test as well. Why? Should I complain the creator? No, that is my capacity. I'm responsible within my capacity. Now, smartness means nothing really as far as the truth is concerned, but the man of being a man of truth is everything, whether smart or not smart. So we have to make the distinction, which is called in Arabic, zeki and aql. Zeki means really somebody is very smart. Aql is somebody makes reasoning in the right way. By akala is something to do with tying up. Everybody knows the Arabic origin of the word. Aql means ties up to the truth, ties up to its creator. So understand is the matter in correct correlations, in correct connection. That is aql. That is a reasonable person, wise person, it means. So we have to ask Allah, please give me a child or make me an aql, not necessarily zeki or smart. Okay. Satan is smart, comes to the right and says, look, Ali, you are a very strong believer. You know, even you organize halakas. Whoa, man, not many people are doing. Look at around. You are a wonderful man. You are doing your job perfectly. It doesn't say that, hey, be careful. You may fall into pride that you are doing something. You may not attribute this opportunity to God's favor, to God's grace. No, it doesn't say this. It says, oh, you are great. You know, you never miss your salah, do you? No, really. So, you see, yeah, you are almost the best man in the world, on earth. This inspiration comes from right. So, if you do something right, it exaggerates the standard. You are such a wonderful person. You guaranteed paradise. That all these are from satanic whisperings. That's what I understood from this verse 17. The last piece of the verse, you will find most of them ungrateful. We understand that being grateful, appreciating the source of existence of whatever happened in my life, whether I failed or whether I was successful, whether good action, whether bad action, or I trusted my future in God, and also I related whatever I have done in the past to God's taqdir. It means God's determination. tell, he determined in this way. That's what I understood now. And get lesson from it, and that's it. No, don't say, or don't make speculations saying that if only I. Of course, there is an hadith narrations from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. If only expression, law in Arabic, is from Satan. Because it is assuming something which did not exist. It means which is not created. We emphasized on it so many times that Satan, Iblis, represents what is not created. That is why we have to be very careful of what we are saying. But repentance is different. Repentance is what we are expected to do. So, ungrateful means in any circumstances, if I listen or give in to the inspirations of Satan, of course, what Satan does, very simple, very simple. Whatever he or it offers, it is disconnected from its creator. That's so simple. And if he can manage, he connects it to you, to you. You did it in good senses. Bad senses, oh, that is natural. That is bad luck. I wasn't really lucky, or this kind of interpretations. And also, God didn't let me do that. I wanted, but I didn't have the opportunity to do, blaming God, accusing God, and therefore disconnecting the event from God's wisdom, from God's mercy. These kind of attitudes, all ungratefulness. We have to be very careful. And also, Satan doesn't come and tell you, Ali, don't believe in God. Well, it is too late, man. I cannot. I don't really accept this at all. It is impossible. It is too late. I have many evidences and convictions. No, I cannot explain the existence of the universe other than attributing to the creator of the universe, who is called God. So he doesn't come to me in this way. Don't expect him. He's very clever. He knows why my weak points. It comes from there. If I'm sure about something, it doesn't come and say, well, I will say, oh, it is impossible. Come on, go away. But, for example, human beings are weak in taking pride of their good actions and accusing the creator of chance or opportunities, etc., and blaming God because he didn't give me the opportunity to do that. Otherwise, I would have done it, etc., etc. All these speculative interpretations and justifications of our mistakes, whatever. So I think we covered this verse. I feel that we can move to the verse 18th, inshallah. But meanwhile, if you have any questions, any concerns, please go ahead. Well, anytime you can interrupt me. We are here speaking in an informal way, so it is not a formal meeting. It's a friendly meeting. All right? No comment? Okay. You can interrupt anytime. 18th. God said, get out. اخرج منها. Get out of this one.
Brother, we don't see verse 18, please.
Excuse me?
We don't see verse 18.
You don't see verse 18?
Correct.
Why don't you see
I
it?
just said it. Thank you now.
Don't you see it?
Now it's good. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I'm just joking, you have to relax. So get out. It is, we might have mentioned that ukhruj minha refers to feminine form, which refers to Jannah, which is the feminine word. So get out of this paradise. It means from my presence, which means real existent or representing the real existent position. So you are disgraced and rejected. Of course, disgraced and rejected because it doesn't exist. Not the Iblis doesn't exist. That the opportunity, the option always exists. It is within my creation. He represents this side, this aspect of the matter now. So God is educating me now. This aspect is represented by Iblis within myself. So this Iblistic attitude, be careful about this attitude and this option. Therefore, do not follow this option. That's what I have been trained here in this story, in this scenario. So God says all the wrong, non-existent reality are disgraced and rejected. Why? They are rejected. They are not in existence. Anyways, so we should understand them. And we have to be very careful not to make imaginary words for ourselves. Imaginary word for ourselves. If I had this, it would happen. No, aspirations are different. This is my aim. But all the aspirations must be related to the future, and all of them must be connected to their creator. Rather than saying, I will choose this way, as far as I know how the order, the habit, or the way of God's creation takes place in this world, I will make this option, I will choose this option and expect God to create it for me if he wills it. But whatever he wills it, that's what we should understand from the Quranic word. Man yasha, man yasha. This word is very much frequently used in the Quran. If he wills it, if he wills it. But we have to understand that if he wills it, open bracket, God wills nothing but mercy. Now we have whatever he chooses, but it doesn't mean that God is going to will what I will. No, not necessarily, because if there is a verse, but I don't remember this. If somebody remembers it, whatever I think is good, it may be bad for me. Yeah. So whatever I think bad.
عسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ziba. So, عسى أن يكرهوا شيئا فهو خير لكم فهو خير لهم وعسى أن يكرهوا خيرا فهو شر لهم, I think. Yeah. This is what you don't know this. And also, there is another verse related to it somehow, but it is not very easy to understand. While I am praying for the good, I may be praying for my bad or against my benefit. So this kind of verses tells me that if I have a good intention, for example, let's say, I want to, let's say, go and visit a friend. And my intention is very good. Really, let's say, just an example. And in visiting my friend, but I went there and we had a quarrel. So it turned out to be very bad. So if I say that I am going to do this, I am going to do this with a good intention and connecting it to my creator, of course, if God permits, if God wills So that is what I'm distracted with this. So that's what I should always say, inshallah, inshallah, if God wills. And when we say inshallah, we should mean God, if God wills, because it must be our reason why we refer to God. Come on, let's go there. So we refer to God knowing that, surely knowing that whatever he wills, it is within his wisdom for my mercy, from his mercy. Sorry, I'm confusing. From his mercy. We have to have this in my mind. I don't know whether it is good or not. If God wills, I will do that. Okay. I said, inshallah, but I wasn't aware that when I say inshallah, I didn't mean that he definitely chooses and decides what is best for me, even I don't know. Because I have a good intention, first. Two, I trust that whatever God wills, better than what I expect, what I mean. That is important to understand, inshallah, it's associated with mercy of Allah. So inshallah, which means I trust what God chooses for me, it is better for me. But I said, when I was driving, God forbid, inshallah, hafidhanallah, when I was driving, I said, okay, I'm going to visit my friend with a good intention. And on the way, I said, Bismillah, inshallah, it will be good for me. And on the way, had an accident, couldn't go there. Oh, I had a good intention, but Allah didn't reward me. And he punished me with the accident. It is very bad, very wrong way of understanding Allah's taqdeer, Allah's determination, God's determination. Why? Do you think the accident is a punishment from your creator? Who said that? Maybe. How do you know? It would end up with a disaster. We don't know. We don't know the future at all. We have to see that, as God said, إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. Anyways, everything is from God, and we are going to turn to him. We trust in his mercy. So definitely, okay, look, if you have neglected your duty, that is your part. That is your part. But if there is something, if something better happens, that is Allah's favor. So we always tend to interpret, I don't know why the culture is like this, interpret anything unexpected from our perspective as bad and also as punishment from God. Not necessarily. Even it is a punishment, it must be definitely for our benefit, to warn us, so that we will take lesson from it. We have to understand what God's mercy is there. Otherwise, I cannot really make a judgment about what God creates according to my calculations, my expectations. This is very important. Think about it. Never, ever make a judgment about what God creates according to our expectations, our calculations. So this is the verse. Yes. ويدعو الإنسان بالشر دعاءه بالخير وكان الإنسان عجولا. And amen. So thank you very much, Ziba, Sister Ziba. A man supplicates for evil as he supplicates for good. And man is ever hasty. I'm over. Can you give us the Ziba? Can you give us the section and verse number so that our friends may study it after the class? It is interesting, although the translation it varies. Before I studied the verse, I'm waiting for you, Ziba. Are you going to do that? Inshallah, maybe you are working on it. Which section, which verse? No, 17, okay, Isra, chapter Isra, 17th section of the Quran, 11th verse. So if anybody is interested in really studying this interesting verse, then this is the reference number. Thank you, Sister Ziba. You are always. Okay. Now, where we are. Now, accidents or whatever we don't expect may happen. It does necessarily mean that it is bad for me because I couldn't succeed in my expectations. And also, it is not a punishment for me. Definitely, it is for my benefit. And inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We use it only when we hear that somebody died. It became somehow good to remember a verse, all right, but at the same time, it became a standard location of the usage of the verse, which is very much limited. Yes, when somebody dies, inna lillah, we belong to God and we are going to return to God, whatever. But whatever happens to me, it is decided by God, and I have to refer it back to God. We are going back to him. It means our existence goes back to God. Whatever is created for me, as I am created, I will go back to God. Of course, as far as my consciousness is concerned, I have to refer this event back to God. That is God's choice. He is the most wise one, and he is my creator. He doesn't harm me. My creator never wants to harm me at all. So it must be for my benefit. That's why my creator has chosen this way for me. So feel confident. Whatever is created is good for you. So, inshallah, must be accompanied with this understanding. Inshallah, God willing, because he wills only for me what is good for me. He wills only what is good for me. We have to combine them. Inshallah alone is not enough, because we have to understand what God wills is mercy for me, for my benefit. Even I don't like it. It wasn't what I was expecting to happen. That is what Allahu ya'lam wa antum la ta'lamun. Your creator must know what he is doing, whereas you don't know. You don't know what will happen in the future, what is coming next. We don't know. We have to admit our reality. So get out of from the parasitic, if you like, existence, reality. You are disgraced and rejected because the Iblis represents non-existence. Non-existence has no grace, no acceptance, non-existent. So I will certainly fill up hell with you. It means with all your suggestions, with what you represent, non-existence, I will fill up hell with non-existence. This is interesting. Why hell is filled up with non-existence? It sounds as if hell doesn't have an existence. Oh, this is what the description of the Qur'an is all about. As far as I am concerned, in my existence, the option that I can choose, which doesn't exist, but the option that I can choose non-existent side of the reality, it means opposite the reality, exists within me. That's why the Quran says, this is important. When you go to hell, God will tell them, if anybody remembers this verse, God will tell them, okay, ask your idols, what you have associated with God, to give you what you need. Because you said that, for example, nowadays famous, we keep repeating and reminding ourselves, nature. It is natural. It is natural. It is so. No. There is no nature. So, God forbid, those people who say nature is the source of existence, natural laws are the source of existence, there is no such thing. Only the order established by the Creator exists. The order is the way the universe is created. That's it. There is no universe plus order. We mentioned this many times, but it is important to repeat. I'm not ashamed of it, because we always keep forgetting that and we keep using the word nature. So God will say, okay, here you are in your existence, ask nature to satisfy you. So existence of the hell is real, but what it represents, non-existent imaginations of human beings face to face with the human beings. Human beings say, nature, come and give me something. There is no such thing. It means they will suffer the lack of God's mercy. Now, because they rejected God's mercy, they said something else is satisfying me. Go ahead with it then. So, anybody? So let me see. Again, it's beautiful, beautiful. Again, verse number. وَقِيلَ شُرَكَاءَكُمْ فَدَعَوْهُمْ فَلَمْ يَسْتَجِيبُوا لَهُمْ وَرَأَوْا الْعَذَابَ وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا يَهْتَدُونَ. And it will be said, invoke your partners. It means شُرَكَاءَهُمْ. Your partners is, the translation, of course, sisters about copy-pasting it. Anything you assign the power of divinity or divine power, assigned creatorship, as if anything which creates apart from the creator of the universe. Anything we say that it is the responsible agent for the existence of something within the universe is these partners. I'm sure you are seeing the Sister Ziba's chat box comment. Now, and they will invoke them. The human beings will be in paradise and they will invoke them. When the nature, come and help me. Chance, come on, help me. Your luck, come on, help me. because they said, oh, I got this because I was lucky. That's what the people say. So they will not respond to them. But they don't exist. How they will respond to them? And they will see the punishment. What is the punishment? Lack of the Creator's favor. Punishment is the lack of the Creator's favor. What is that? Left nothing. Because nothing else can create anything. If only they had followed guidance. It is excellent. Really, 28, section 28, verse 64. Let me, 28. Oh, Maryam 19, Furqan 25, Neml 27. Yep, after Neml, yeah, Qasas 28, 64. Yeah, El Qasas 64. Thank you. 64. I was, yeah, okay. Let me put a mark here for myself. 28, 64. All right. Thank you very much, Sister Ziba. Yeah. MashaAllah. You are very helpful because I cannot remember. I'm an old guy, so you understand. So did we get it now? This is very important, this kind of points here. I will fill up hell with you because he represents non-existence and your followers altogether, of course. If I follow him, I will be like him. So hell exists, but represents lack of God's mercy. That's what we have to experience. No, those people that we, inshallah not, Ya Rab, Hafizan Allah, God forbid. So those people who follow non-existent things, such as anything they regard as the source of satisfaction other than the Creator and Creator's will, they will be in hell situation. That's what this verse means in our practical life. Otherwise, asking, so God is saying, get out. God is telling to Iblis, get out, you are disgraced, rejected, and I will fill you, threatening him or something. I mean, anything, any interpretation, any understanding of the Quran, which doesn't really refer to my real life, practical, real life experience, pointless. To me, pointless. I'm not satisfied with any of them. That's why when I go through some references, some sources, I look something which is practical for me. That's why I read the verses in this way and share it with you. And you are here together. Inshallah, you will also share your understanding. So, but let's come on the other side. You and your wife, Adam, live in paradise. No, Adam, you will live in paradise, which means our primordial reality belongs to paradise, existence. And we are created to be in need of existence. Existence means whatever the Creator creates for us. That is paradise. Now, I mean, in this world, we may ideally accept that everything is created by God, but we may not practically refer it to our practical life, saying, this is from God. Now, we may say, God created the universe, but we may miss a lot of things happening in our life without connecting them to their creators. So we have to be careful about it. In his primordial existence, Adam, it means you and me, live in paradise. So we are created for paradise. Both of you eat whatever you like because God creates everything. We have to be careful when you say God creates everything out of nothing. No, there is no creation out of nothing. In the Quranic language, we have to be, again, this is a very fine point here. God creates out of nothing is wrong. Quranic language is velem yeku shay'an. Velem yeku shay'an. For example, this expression is repeated on quite a number of occasions in the Quran. Velem yeku shay'an, velem teku shay'an. He was nothing. It means we express this, for example, another example, of course, apart from velem yeku shay'an, it's a Quranic expression. Another expression, when I think a verse doesn't come. Subhanallah. Okay. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. لم يكن. We express it in our discussions because it is very important and delicately selected. We don't say God creates out of nothing. God creates anything which did not exist before. This is the language we use in our discussions. God creates everything which did not exist before, which is the translation of, in an explanatory way of translation of وَلَمْ يَكُنْ شَيْئًا. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ شَيْئًا مَذْكُورًا. It never existed, but it exists now. That is why we have to be careful. Both of you eat whatever you like because God creates everything while or as they did not exist before. It means just he gives existence. That's it. That is his will. And of course, he's not going to lose anything from what he creates. So freely eat it. But do not approach this tree or you will become evildoers. We know the story, a tree, we discuss a lot about this forbidden tree. Forbidden tree represents, we said, of course, I'll just very briefly mention that, represents anything which cannot create anything, cannot be the source of existence of anything in the world, forbidden tree. So we said, for example, as far as God, the creator, is concerned, if I refer anything to this word, it is forbidden tree for me. Why? I shouldn't approach this idea, this understanding. But at the same time, mostly traditionally understood forbidden tree is haram things. This is correct as well. God said, don't use this, don't, for example, eat or do this action. Yeah, that is forbidden tree. But in the context of this scenario of Adam, the forbidden tree represents something not really haram, but because the forbidden tree is described in the Quran, saying that Adam and Eve was deceived by whisperings of Satan, thinking that this tree is if you eat from this tree, you will become an angel and you will become a permanent resident of paradise. It means the Shajaratul Khuld gives you permanence in your existence, guarantees it. And God doesn't want you to be like this. So eat it and you become a permanently existent and become a permanent residence of paradise existence. So I hardly relate it to haram things. Haram is a different matter, not in this forbidden tree section of the story of Adam. But some people did it because they don't look at the Quran from existential point of view. Most of the people don't. So, but we do. So that is the difference, inshallah. Let's see. Lots of things are written here. So Muhammad Said said, "Many there, Anna. من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا." Yes, yes. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. Rest, correct. And writes that God creates anything that did not exist before. Yeah. Thank you. Brother, can you please put that in the chat box in Arabic? What you said about not created from nothing. In Arabic, ziba. Yeah, لم يكن شيئا مذكورا or لم يكن شيئا or لم تكن شيئا. As far as I remember, there is another way of usage of the this in the. Yep. Thank you very much. So Muhammad Said shared this El-Insan 76 section of the Quran, verse 1. Has there not been an endless span of time? Yeah. Yes, there's that time passed, it means creation. All the creation took place. Passing of time, I mean, these verses are amazing. Passing of time, because we discussed this in our discussions, we mentioned all this. Time means acts, the realization of the acts of creation. If there was no act of creation, there would be no time, because we cannot refer one event to another and make the concept of time. So we have to understand that when the creation took place, human beings wasn't there created, but newly created from just a newly created. لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. Nothing to be thought of. Nothing to be thought of, yes, because it didn't exist. That is what. Sister Ziba, did you find لم يكن شيئا لم يكن شيئا لم يكن شيئا? The verses.
I couldn't find that. Yes.
Inshallah, thank you. You can share it so everybody can really take and study that. But be careful. Ordinary translations misses most of the time misses the juice of the matter, gist of the matter. Usually, unfortunately, that is, we have to be careful about it. It doesn't mean that they are saying something wrong. No. From our perspective, existential side of the matter, they may not be consistent about this. Most of the translators, are really translating literally word by word, and they miss the point. I mean, translation has to miss the point, because of the capacity of the language of the Quran is going to be translated into another language word by word is impossible. But give us a general idea. That is what we have to respect the translator's rights as well. So, فَتَكُونَ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ, you will become evildoers. So, of course, we know that if you follow anything, hoping that this will be the source of satisfaction for me, anything other than the Creator. God said, the creation has two aspects, we say. The aspect which looks like a cause and effect relationship is going on here. The order, because the order is described as cause and effect relationship. In the eyes of the superficial thinking people. So, but we always say the angelic side of the creation. Angelic side of the creation. So, anything, any appearance, any understanding which is not related or tied up to angelic side of the creation is shajaratul, this forbidden tree. This forbidden tree. So we have to understand that we should not approach to creation from the aspect which is not related to its creator, is وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةِ. Do not approach this tree. This tree represents, God says, hey, you have the choice. Don't choose this option, which is not connected to its creator. So it would be definitely wrong for you, and it would represent nothingness, non-existence. That is the mission of the Satan, calls us to choose the non-existence, not related to reality, just imaginary world without any reality. That is what we have to understand this shajara, forbidden shajara in this sense. It doesn't mean, in this sense, it doesn't mean that there are haram. It means God forbids certain things not to do. Yes, but this concept that we shouldn't do something, God says, okay, it is not good for you. I am giving you the opportunity to turn all your life into a worshipful attitude, because I will say, don't drink alcohol. The rest of the liquid, drinkable things, how are they called? Breweries or whatever it is. Now, you understood what I mean. Anything halal. So when you say, it is not alcohol or really intoxicant, I will drink it. So it will be a way of worship, way of acknowledging. This is beautiful. One thing is prohibited. The meat of pig it's a bacon. Bacon is forbidden. But there are many other sheep, cows, camel, or whatever, goats, lots of other animals that you can benefit, and they are created abundantly. So they multiply more than what they are. So alhamdulillah, thank God. But while you are eating, for example, lamb meat, you say it is not bacon, so that is forbidden by the creator, by the owner of this meat. I can eat it. It becomes a practical worship for you, for us. So we have to appreciate that there are something forbidden. But what I mean by emphasizing this shajara, the forbidden tree, the Quran mentions within the context of Adam is not related to forbidden matters. Cannot be, because out of context. But unfortunately, you may see some people interpreting it in this way. Okay, they are free. They may be right, I don't know, but it doesn't make sense to me personally. So I think the time is up. So inshallah, we will continue next week from the verse 20, Araf 20, inshallah. Any further comments? Any? One of the verse was from, I don't know the verse number. It is from Ali Imran. Lam yakun shay'an, lam yakun shay'an. Again, I have to spend some time, go on and make a search. In the third chapter of the Quran, again, it wasn't anything. It means it didn't exist. God creates always, not sometimes, always what did not exist before. Of course, it is a great subject, but the word seems to be continuing, and the things are created out of the previously created materials, something like that. But it is a delusion. We have to study that subject actually seriously. It is a very serious subject that we have to be careful while we are making or understanding the reality of this creation. Thank you very much. I think no more comment and question, concerns. Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة